Hi, we're the Wiggles. I'm Greg.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Murray.
I'm Anthony.
And we are staying up late. We're taking over Rage all night long.
Beauty, mate.
Beauty, beauty, beauty.
Rage.
Well, my first choice is DZ Death Ray's song "Like People," and that was a great experience for me because I'm actually in the video. I'm sort of the main feature of the video, and I didn't know the guys before. I was just approached by the director, and I said, yeah, that sounds like fun. And it was pretty grueling because I hadn't actually done that much dancing for a long time. I was dancing like for 8 hours or something. And the sweat you see in the video.
Can you say dancing?
Oh, yeah, dancing, yeah, sorry.
I was going to say that's subjective.
And the sweat you see in the video is my actual sweat. Not the boys at the end got sprayed, so they look sweaty. But it was a great experience, and I got to know the guys, and they took me up to do Splendour in the Grass, which was a really great experience. I played this song with them, and also an AC/DC cover, and because most of the audience were old Wiggles fans, and so they just went nuts when they came out, so it was great fun. So here it is, DZ Death Ray's Like People.
This next song is mental as anything with He's Just No Good For You. What a great Australian band. Second only to the Cockroaches, I must say, guys. No.
Oh, probably first.
Yeah, okay.
Much better than we were.
Yeah, all right. But the Mentals had some great songs, and this one is no exception. This is Greedy Smith at his best. This song, I think, was probably one of the very first single continuous shot video clips, certainly the first one that I ever saw, being the youngest in the Wiggles. I'm not as exposed to some things as some of these guys were, but I remember watching this clip and being amazed by it, how well they sang this song walking down the street. You'll have to watch it to appreciate it, so please stay tuned and watch Mental as Anything with He's Just No Good For You. Hi, we're the Wiggles. We are the OG Wiggles, stands for the old guy Wiggles, in case you didn't know that, and you are watching Rage. Good choice.
Yeah. Now, I love my seafood. And this next band, the B-52s, they came up with a brilliant song title. Something that I really love, seafood. And it's called Rock Lobster. Yeah. Listen for the glitzy organ.
Well, the next video to see is the Wiggles version of Tame Impala's Elephant. Now, how it happened, like a version, which is on the Triple J. Well, guess what? Bryce and Ebony contacted the Wiggles and said there's a bit of a groundswell for you guys to do a track. Now,
Which track though?
well, which track? So the genius of music on from the ABC label is a guy called Nick Webb, and Nick came to us and said, "Why don't you try an Aussie guy named Ray Parker.
Kevin Parker. who performs as Tame Impala.
Ray Parker, what did he do?
Ray Parker Jr. was Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters. So I thought it was Ghostbusters, but it was, anyway, long story. So we said we'll do the Tame Impala song because Nick Webb from the ABC never gets it wrong. We did a little bit of a version of it. He said it's not wiggly enough. So I thought, well, why don't we throw in the old fruit salad in there? And I played it to my kids who love Tame Impala. They laughed. They said it's great. But then, how do we get all the Wiggles into the studio because of COVID restrictions at the Triple J studios? So we had to leave Greg out, and I really apologise about that, Greg. But at the time, luckily, Greg was doing a CPR convention in Albury, so he couldn't have made it anyway.
Yeah, but I was doing, coincidentally, Fruit Salad because it is a CPR tempo song. So, yeah, there is a tie in there. Yeah.
Anyway, long story short, Murray met, not Ray Parker from Ghostbusters, he met
Kevin Parker.
Kevin Parker. What happened?
I met him at the APRA Awards, which is the Songwriting Awards, and I went over and introduced myself, and I said, "Oh, you probably heard that we did your song." And he went, "Yeah, it was great. He really liked it."
Oh, he liked it?
Yeah. So,
You beauty, mate. All we can say is,
beauty, mate. This next clip is by Sherbet, and it's called Summer Love, and a lot of younger people out there probably don't remember Sherbet or don't know Sherbet. They're probably best known for their song How's That? They were the first band I ever saw when I was 13, and it's really what got me into live music, because I saw them and thought, this is fantastic, this is what I want to do. I was still pretty young, so it took me a while. But I had the great pleasure, I guess, and honour for my band, The Soul Movers, most recent album, we recorded it with Garth Porter, who's the keyboard player and one of the writers in Sherbet. He produced it, and their bass player Tony Mitchell played bass on it, and we've been doing some gigs with Tony. So that's been very exciting. So here they are, a blast from the past. Summer Love, Sherbet.
Well, the next clip you're about to see on Rage is John Fogerty, or Fogerty. Is it Fogerty or Fogerty?
I think he says Fogerty.
He says Fogerty, the old man down the road. Now, I'm going to ask the guys for help here. So John did 2 tracks with us. We actually did, because his daughter loved We're On Our Way to Wiggle Bay. And he contacted the Wiggles to do a duet. We did Santa's Rocking and The Great Big Man in Red. Now, I was talking to Greg the other day about it. We went to a recording studio, his recording studio. What happened there, Murray?
Recording one of the things that I loved is he had about 100 guitars in cases just along the floor, and he said, you know, he'd think, oh, this song needs that guitar, so he'd go and get it.
His engineer said to us, he really does know the sound of every one of those guitars. Yeah, what do you remember that, Greg?
Oh, just how amazing it was. His voice is just incredible. I mean, to be in his presence when he's performing is just so amazing. Such an iconic performer, such an amazing songwriter. And yeah, to be able to perform with him just blew us away.
And Jevy, what about you, Elvis?
I'm still trying to remember how I got here.
The other thing I remember is we shot a video for Santa's Rockin', I think Rockin' Santa, and or a couple of the songs. And at the end, he was so lovely. He came over to us and said, "Thanks for letting me be part of this." And we're like, "John Fogerty, you're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You know, Creedence, all his great stuff." So
he was great, mate. And spending time talking to him, he was telling us about his influences, and you know, it wasn't like something you'd see on an interview. He was just really, really just telling us exactly.
Remember how thrilled he was that Elvis recorded Proud Mary?
Yeah, that was a big thing for us. But to know that he loved Elvis's Proud Mary too. Oh, mate. So here's the old man down the road, which is an 80s. Mate, he doesn't put out a bad song. So but he played every instrument on this: drums, bass, guitar, and vocals. And I think and then when he did, no, I'm getting lost here, but later on he put this baseball song out and he used the baseball guitar. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Anyway, Centerfield.
Here we go.
Hi.
We're the Wiggles.
Yeah, we're the OG Wiggles, the old guy Wiggles. And do you know what? I'm so old that I remember when Rage came into the vernacular of Australia, where you went out to have a rage at a party. Well, now you can have a rage watching it on the televisions. Whatever you're watching Rage on, it's still a rage.
Coming up next is Elvis Presley with Suspicious Minds. Now, I love the king of rock and roll, and I love the way that he performed live. So this is a live version of Suspicious Minds. Now, this song, to me, really shows off the energy that Elvis was able to produce live on stage, particularly when he's performing with the amazing TCB band. What I loved about Elvis in the 70s is the energy from the TCB band, the backing vocalists, and the orchestra. Who'd have thought of combining the TCB band with a gospel choir and an orchestra? Elvis did, and he pulled it off beautifully. So stay tuned for this really, I was going to say something a Wiggle shouldn't say, this song that really kicks some butt, Suspicious Minds.
Now, remember when we did that show in the Beacon Theatre in New York City?
Yes.
Well, Robert De Niro, we heard, was coming to the show. And it was like 10 minutes after, we were still waiting. We were waiting on Robert De Niro. Funnily enough, Bananarama wrote a song about Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro's waiting. Here it is.
Wow.
When the Wiggles used to tour America a lot and were really big, we were playing arenas, we used to get a lot of celebrities come backstage and meet us with their kids. And one time we were in San Francisco and James Hetfield from Metallica brought his kids along. And, you know, he was a pretty lovely guy. He was just wearing a Hawaiian shirt. He wasn't in his Metallica black. And but it was still like kind of a weird juxtaposition. And so, yeah, we met them and that was great. And then during the show, we used to do this thing where Captain Feathersword, Paddy, would do the Quack Quack song, our Quack Quack song to, the audience would call out names of acts, and he'd do it in that style. So basically, if they call out the Rolling Stones, we'd play Start Me Up, and Paddy would just sing Quack Quack to the tune of Start Me Up. Well, while James Hetfield was there, we decided to do Enter Sandman, and it went off pretty well. And at the end, he was like 3 rows from the front. At the end, he stood up and went, "Yeah!" And it was fantastic. Then the next year, he came back again with his kids, and one of his kids said to us, "Are you going to do Daddy again?" And I think we did. So here they are now, Metallica with Enter Sandman.
Well, the Temptations, broke so many barriers in the 60s and the 70s. There's a great show on in Broadway at the moment called Ain't Too Proud to Beg, which tells their story. I've been a big fan of the Temptations. Power's all about, that, there might be lunatics that have got access to that nuclear bomb and things like this, but they do these incredible socially conscious songs, but in such an entertaining way, with dance moves, with harmonies. The Temptations, I just think, if you haven't had a look at their catalogue, do yourself a favour, as Molly would say.
This next band, I only discovered them probably a few months ago. They're a combination of demure Japanese women with heavy metal, and they came up with this band called Baby Metal, and I think it's just so quirky. Their choreography is just brilliant. But here they are with the song Karate.
Hi, we're the Wiggles. We're the OG Wiggles, and we're staying up late on Rage. I hope Jeff stays awake. You awake, Jeff? Uh-oh. Let's let him sleep.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been asking me what I've been doing since the Wiggles. People come up to me in the street sometimes because it's been quite a while since I've performed with the Wiggles. Well, this is what I've been doing. It's my band called the Soul Movers. We've just done our 3rd album with Garth Porter producing, and this is the title track from the album. It's kind of a bit of a call to arms about nature and looking after the planet. And we filmed the video in Melbourne outside Luna Park, and we got a bunch of young friends of ours to come along in their kind of hippie gear. And it was great fun. And here it is, the Soul Movers with Evolution.
Well, the next clip you're going to see on Rage is Julio Iglesias' Tango, or Tango. And Julio is one of my idols, one of the greatest idols. And I was lucky when we were doing a tour of America, and we played Miami. Shaquille O'Neal came to the show, but the biggest thing for me was the next day, Julio was playing that incredible arena. So I waited, and the boys went on to the next city. And I watched Julio, and the whole show was done in Spanish. And I had a friend of mine next to me who spoke Spanish. He was translating everything. The only words that Julio said in English was, here's a song I did with Willie Nelson. And Fernando translated that for me, and I said, I understand the English, Fernando. But I went backstage after the show and met Julio, and his tango dancers were big Wiggles fans, which surprised me. And watching Julio sing the Tango album is just incredible. He said he waited 30 years to sing it, and it's just watching someone at the top of his craft singing Carlos Gardel.
Wait, I don't have wait. Now, the band, that was a band from the 60s. It was sort of like their music was part of the tapestry of what I was listening to, among your Led Zeppelins, your Beatles and Rolling Stones, Bob Dylan. But it was just, it was released in 1969, so that indicates how old I am. And and I was a teenager at the time, and it's just something about this song, The Wait. It's very nostalgic for me, so that's why I want to see it again on Rage.
Share it with the world.
Hi,
We're the Wiggles.
We are the OG Wiggles, stands for the Old Guy Wiggles, in case you didn't know that. And you are watching Rage. Well, the next video you're about to watch is ABBA and Dancing Queen. Now, I think that ABBA writes such fantastic pop tunes, and this is probably one of the best pop tunes ever written. It also happens to be at CPR tempo, which is important to me because I'm out raising awareness about CPR and saving
Greg,
lives.
sorry to interrupt. What is CPR, old buddy?
CPR is cardiopulmonary resuscitation, and you use it when somebody's in cardiac arrest and you want to try to save a life. If you want to sing Dancing Queen while you're doing that, you can. It'll help you keep the right tempo for doing CPR.
I didn't know that about Dancing Queen.
Yeah,
because I knew
Can you
the
give us a
Staying
demonstration,
Alive.
Greg?
Yeah, so, well, you put your hands in the centre of somebody's chest and you push down hard and fast to the tempo of Dancing Queen.
Sing it, old buddy.
You are the dancing queen, young and sweet, only 17.
I didn't know we were all doing it.
Well, we're probably better off to let ABBA do it, don't you think, guys? All right, here's ABBA with Dancing Queen.
Well, when the Wiggles started out, we had our manager was Jeremy Fabini, who was a great manager, and he also ran Regular Records, which Mental as Anything were on. And I consider us all great friends of the Mentals. And a friend I had forever was Greedy Smith, who wrote Live It Up. And sadly, Greedy passed away last year to a heart attack. And very sad about Greedy going, because he was just full of life, and Live It Up just explains Greedy to a T. So we lost one of the greats when Greedy passed away, but this year the Rangers in Scotland had Live It Up as their theme song for the games. So when the team came out, they played Live It Up, and they had basically a number one hit in England again. And I thought, well, there you go, Greedy, you're still number one for us, mate.
Well, thanks for sticking around and watching all the videos that we love. And we're going to leave you one with that we did years and years ago. Around about this time of the morning, if you were still up, you'd probably be starting to watch Recovery. And years ago we did Recovery. We were the house band. They used to have a house band every week, and they do little stings between each of the little segments or between the bands. And we do things like tequila and other little, except I think we changed it to orange juice, yes, because tequila, we wouldn't have known what tequila was back in those days. But it was a great time. It was really fun, and we met these guys, Spearhead, Michael Frandy and Spearhead, and we were chatting with them, and they were really great guys, and they were kind of going, what is it you guys do? Anyway, they were playing one of their songs, and we were just standing on the off camera watching them. And Michael Frandy goes, come on, dance with us. So we came on and did wiggly dancing to this really cool, dancing to this really cool Spearhead song. So,
Murray, could I just say that Jeff and I are looking at each other? I'm not sure about Greg. We have no memories, so we're going to watch this.
Yeah,
do you remember it at all?
I do remember, yeah.
Okay.
yeah. So here we go. Wiggles on Recovery.
Wow.
Rage.
Everybody loosen up. Let's get ready to wiggle.